Welcome into the Cam and Strick podcast, episode number 43. I'm Andy Strickland. What up, Cam Jansen?
What's up?
What's going on, dude?
Not much, man.
Why are you talking like that? Like
What's
you keep
up?
saying, what's up? Like you want to fight me or something?
Maybe
like,
I
settle
do.
down.
Once in a while, I kind of do. And if I did, I'd be in jail for the rest of my life. And
why would you kill me?
I probably. I mean, don't make me mad. I would. No. I'm not a bully. I'd stick up for you, Andy. You could chirp me all you want. I might get angry once in a while, but you're the kind of guy I'd stick up for, baby.
That's right.
Like, what's up?
So
like, come by me.
The weather's getting warmer,
who's by
which
him?
means you're busting out some like tight T-shirts here.
No, they're tight because I'm fat right now.
Is that what it is?
They're tight because I'm 15 pounds overweight. I'm 15 pounds overweight right now. Why is that? I'll blame it on the Rona. The reason why I'm overweight is because of Rona. That's why a lot of people are overweight. But my T-shirts are extra, extra tight. Kind of embarrassing. Mm-hmm. People are walking around right now. They're like, oh, God, he's heavy. Now I'm taking abuse. You're chirping me. People are abusing me. Now I'm like stuck in a corner and I have no confidence.
When's the last time you worked out?
This morning. I took that 45-pound plate, baby. I'm like, whatcha? You put it in your pocket. You stick it up. Boom. Mike Vasilani from the New Jersey Devils. I'm going to give you a shout-out. He was a trainer with the Devils. Maybe some of the guys thought he was annoying. Maybe Marty thought he was annoying. Maybe a lot of other guys thought he was annoying. I liked him. He kept me on my toes. He brought you in there. He was always perky in the morning, like kind of I was. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, man. Let's go. And he sent me all these different workouts. That guy, I remember getting injured with my shoulder, and he got me so damn strong after I had a good reconstruction shoulder surgery. I believe that's what it's called. I had to go down to Dr. James Andrews, but that guy put me through.
You did?
Yes. My agent did that, by the way.
Did you meet him?
Yes. Let me tell you a little story on that.
He's an old guy,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Down in Birmingham, Alabama. Went to James Andrews. Big dog.
Did you fly private?
No. I went there by myself, which I should have brought my girlfriend at the time. But I didn't. I'm like, yeah, you're a big dog. Go down there by yourself and get it done. So I went down there.
What's up? I'm Cam Jansen.
Let me just tell the story.
You're like, who?
Let me tell the story. I went in, and so we're up on this nice.
Mark Maddox.
I know. I'll tell you who's by me.
Bobby Glad.
No. John
Tom
Cena, Cadillac Williams, 15 other football players, and then me. Like, hi, I'm the hockey player. Hi. And everybody's like, look at this little guy. What's this guy doing? I'm like, hi, I'm the hockey player, everybody. I'm cool. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a loser compared to everybody else here. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting in there like we're all in beds next to each other. Very, very organized. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden here, like 15 people walking up. And it's Dr. James Andrews comes first. And then all of his like minions behind him, like, they're all walking like in sync, like military style. And they walk up, and he goes by like, let me look at you, Rock Cook Cadillac. Let me see that shoulder. Let me see that knee. It was his knee. Not shoulder. His knee. Let me look at that knee of yours. You're looking good. I'm gonna get you good. Hey, come over here real quick. Let me check that shoulder out. Ooh, you're looking good. I'm gonna get you good. Boom, 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 down the line. Then he comes to me. Let me look at that shoulder, son. I don't know your name, but I'm gonna get you boom, boom, boom. Like, oh, thank you, dude. And all of a sudden, I felt better. And then he did a surgery, and I've never had a problem since.
So Dr. Andrews, by the way, was that your Birmingham, Alabama accent?
Let me see that shoulder real quick. Yeah, that's what he said.
Right quick.
No, he didn't say right quick, but he said real quick.
Real quick.
But he said it real quick.
Okay, so he did your shoulder.
Yeah, he did.
And
it probably cost Lou out the wazoo for that.
And you've never had any issues since?
No, man. They've been throwing punches left and right after that.
Wow.
and never had a problem.
Your credibility as an athlete just went up like 5 meters.
Because of that?
Yes.
Oh, my
That's
shoulder's
where like
strong.
real professional athletes go. Like,
you know who did my other
Cam
shoulder?
was like a real professional athlete. I had no
was
idea.
the biggest scum there. I was the scummiest of all scum. I'm talking $100 million guys. John Cena's looking at me. I'm trying to talk to John Cena.
John Cena, the guy from like wrestling.
Yes, big boy chest. And I'm like, I thought I was
picture. You get a picture taken.
No, he didn't want to talk to me. He goes,
what
do you do?
He wasn't cool.
Not really.
Really?
No, he was probably bummed out, man. He's like, what am I doing here? He's like, get me out of here. I got his pec surgery or something.
Oh,
I'm like, yeah, all right, big boy.
Implants.
Like, I got my
implants.
I got my shoulders done. I got my shoulder done. He's like, yeah, I got my pec. Yeah. I'm like, oh, you're depressed. I'm like, I'm kind of like looking around like, damn, what's up? What's up, all you guys? Like, how you doing? I'm a social butterfly, Andy. So I just talk no matter what.
Yeah.
I try to talk to the guys. Some guys ignore me. Some other guys like, what's up, man? You're the hockey player?
I don't hear about too many hockey players going down there.
No. That was my agent, Scott Norton. I was gonna have the guys from Jersey do it, and Scott's like, let's go to
Dr. Andrews.
James Andrews.
I see his name on Sports
and
Center all
you know
the
what
time.
Lou did? And you know what Lou did? Lou goes, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll get you down there.
It's a Lou thing.
It's a Lou thing. He's like, yeah, get him right. And then he traded me right when I got back. So he spent all that money. He traded me to the Blues.
Oh my God.
We got Bryce Salvador, which is a captain there, so
yeah,
it all works out.
You were traded for him, and then
Yeah,
you
I know.
guys were teammates.
Yeah.
You know, when I called you to say, hey, here you're getting traded to St. Louis,
Yeah.
which for whatever reason you don't remember, I was doing a
I
trade
know.
deadline show in
I
Philadelphia.
was out of my mind.
Actually, and it was Bryce Salvador. Go ahead and say it right now. We had a deal. I said, Sal,
Yeah.
you know this is going down. You better call me when you know where you're going. He texts me. This is kind of like early texting. He texts me at like 8 in the morning, Eastern.
Yeah.
So it was early, probably like 7 o'clock St. Louis time. I was in Philly, like I said, doing a trade deadline show, and he said, I'm going to Jersey. And I said, who's coming the other way? He said, Cam Jansen. So I remember putting it out there.
Oh
and then
my
I did
God.
a bunch of local radio, like,
Dude.
and was doing a television show out there, but did a bunch of local radio because Cam Jansen was coming to St. Louis. And I called you, and you were like, I'm in a limo. I'm on my
floating.
way. I'm coming home, baby.
I was floating. I was floating around.
Weren't you hurt?
No, I
No,
was
you
as
just came
strong
back,
as
right?
possible. I just couldn't. They had to sign Aaron Asham. They brought Aaron Asham in, so I couldn't even get a game in.
He was tough, huh?
Oh, he was so awesome.
We gotta
I had
get
such
his ass
I had
on.
such a good time. He was unbelievable. I loved him. Loved him. He was on a program too, by the way.
He was.
I know.
Great
He was
dude.
hanging out with me. Oh God, poor guy. Poor guy. Anyway, I remember getting back there, and
What'd you do to him? Hold on. What'd you do to Aaron?
No,
Asham?
he's just like I was wild, and he couldn't be wild, and we were still hanging
He was
out.
tough. He played in Pittsburgh
So
and the Islanders
he's
too, right?
so tough. Fought
God.
him so many. Don Cherry put our fights on Rock'em Sock'em, baby. 2
Really?
years in a row.
Really?
Yeah, me and Ashy.
When's the last time you watched that? This morning?
and what? Say what Biz? I'm not even gonna say it on here. I'm better than Biz. I'm not gonna say what I do when I watch my own fights. I'm better than him.
I'm better.
I'm better
I'm
than
the
him.
hockey player.
I'm classier. I'm not gonna say that I masturbate to my own fight videos.
Well, he accused you of that.
He did.
All right, so what were you saying about Aaron
I only
Asham?
masturbate to his.
What about
His.
Aaron Asham?
Bad to the bone.
Yeah, he is.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, anyway, so they didn't need me. I got traded to the Blues. I was floating, back home. Fuck.
All right, I want
Jesus
to talk to you
Christ.
about something else.
What?
Wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on wearing the mask right now in public?
I'm a mask wearing son of a bitch. I'll do it. I'll wear masks.
I wish you could say what you said to me the other day.
Well, don't. What I say to you is private. I wear a mask though. I'll go into Schnucks like, "What's up?" I look like
People
Bane.
don't know what Schnucks is. It's a grocery
store. I'll wear a mask when I go to grocery stores, and I'll walk in there. I might even put my hat on backwards and do 15,000 push-ups so I look jacked. Then I look like Bane, and I'm like, I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to pay for anything because I got a mask on. No, I'm just joking. Forget that last part. But I do walk in there like Bane. I feel cool.
Like who?
Bane off of Batman.
Oh, okay.
God, never see you ruin everything I say. I'm gonna flow, and he ruins it. Anyway, I do wear a mask, and not
Bane.
that I really care. To be honest with you, I think I'm okay. Like I'm not too nervous, but I do it for other people. I don't know if people are like, oh, Cam's a Hoosier. He's not wearing masks.
Can I tell
well,
you
I do wear
what
masks.
happened to me yesterday?
Yeah.
This guy comes to my house looking to build a deck, and he was the deck guy.
Just like walked in your house like, I
no,
wanna
he
build
was
that.
in the back, and
Just let anybody in.
he's doing all these measurements and whatever, right? And he's going to design a deck for me.
Yeah.
So when I get around the back to say hello, this guy, he shakes my hand, and I'm like, all right, that's all right.
Squeezes
whatever.
that little hand of yours.
Gotta
doesn't he?
wash my hands. It was the first time I.
right afterwards wash his hand.
Oh my god! I'm like, oh, I'll be right back. Had to go inside,
Squeeze those little hands.
get some hand sanitizer. It was the first time that I had shaken somebody's hand
Not doing it anymore.
in months.
Dude, do what I do.
Since pre-corona.
I don't blame you.
So-
You know what I do? I bow to people,
But
baby.
listen to me. So I shake his hand, and my daughter, little Chloe, she's 9 years old. She's like, "Dad, you just shook his hand." I'm like, "I know."
She's smarter than you.
I'm like, she's
already.
like, "Why would you do that?"
She is a cutie.
And I said, "I didn't even know it was happening. He just stuck his hand out."
Yeah. You got to have the discipline. It's not
30
do it.
minutes later, he tells me that he was in the Ozarks all
In that
weekend.
cesspool.
Now, he says he wasn't there.
Bull crap. I don't believe that. Look, he was in that. I saw him. Now that I
So,
think about it, I saw that guy. He was in that. Not only do you have corona, you
Yeah.
got hepatitis A through Z.
So I'm about to pass out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that he just gave me corona. And then he
did.
Then he handed me his card. I got hands in my pockets.
You might as well
I'm
make
touching
out with him.
everything. I'm touching everything.
You might as well cut your hand and then have him and like just like take your blood and be like do each other. Disgusting on your part.
So
why am I next to you right now?
Listen, if you're in the Ozarks, dude, you can't be going around shaking people's hands.
No.
And I'm sure he's going to put together a great deck and whatever.
Did you take like gasoline and burn your hand, please? That's what you do. Just take
that's
a little
what you
gasoline
do?
and take
And
it
then
on
you
your
burn it?
You burn it.
No.
I won't ever shake anybody's hand again.
Okay. Speaking of hands, Alexei Kovalev.
Jesus. Good segue,
Now,
homie.
sometimes
That's a good segue.
when I text Cam or Jamie, our engineer, super producer.
Yeah.
I'm not telling people his name.
No.
People they'll try to like steal him from us.
Exactly. Cam, who's your producer? We don't know.
Like, fuck you.
I don't know. We talked to him over the internet.
Don't worry about it.
Sit down.
Who it is. It's none of your business.
Mind your fucking business. I got shit to do.
We got our own producer. Go get your own.
No shit.
Anyway, you had no idea this one was coming. So I called another NHL player. I don't want to, say, because he didn't want me to say who he gave me the phone number or whatever. And he's like, hey, call this dude. He'll do the interview. He'll do a podcast with you. So I'm like, really? So he answers the phone right away, man. This guy could not have been nicer. Couldn't have been cooler.
What's
and
up?
he's like, what's up, man? Yeah, no problem, man.
You get the sickest hands in the fucking world. Come on the podcast. Let's go. Like I played against you. You toe dragged me a couple times. Like I remember going out there. I'm like, fuck. I don't even know how to like defend you.
I had the AK-27.
Yeah, dude. I got fucking warrior. What's up? I know how to shoot from 200 feet away and fucking bar down every time, and then video it. Like I know what I'm doing. Although he could have had more goals, and we asked him that.
David
question.
Perron was.
You asked him that, by the way.
Oh yeah.
We're like, why the fuck were you? Why did you score
how come
more
you
goals?
didn't have more than 1,000 points?
Nah, we'll pump your fucking tires up, but
like
why
you should have had like 13,
you had 44 one year.
Come
on,
on, bro.
Fucking 23.
Come on, bro.
Fucking Bergie scored 23 goals.
But he kind of throws the Rangers under the bus a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
He's like, well, dude, I went to the Rangers and they kind of changed my role.
Well, he also won a cup there too. But
he did,
whatever that means.
But he put up a shit ton of numbers in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he did.
Playing with those guys.
Yeah, but he just didn't put the goals up that you should with those fucking hands.
I mean, he played 1,300 games, played a long time.
I asked him who's got better hands than him, and he'll answer that.
He'll answer the question.
Answer it for you.
Good question.
Sick question.
Did I ask that question?
That's a sick ass question.
I probably asked it.
I asked that. That's sick.
I don't remember you ever asking
a
good question. Anyway, so he played a long time, had a lot of international success. Truly one of the all-time great Russian players. The first Russian first-round pick in the history of the NHL, and was on the first team to ever win the Stanley Cup as a Russian. Him and I think two other Russians were on the team. Oh my God! I want to change. I want to change the name of our podcast to like our website for our podcast is going to be camandstrick.ru.
Yeah.
Okay. Only accessible in Russia because those are our people.
Let's get Putin on next. What are we doing?
Oh, we should.
What are we doing?
He probably would do it.
Let's do it.
He probably would.
He's like, Russia's the best country. We do everything perfect. Like, yeah, okay, we believe you.
I score lots of goals.
I score 11 goals a game.
In charity
games.
No,
only I do that with the alumni. Alexei Kovalev.
I know Donald Trump.
In cahoots.
Jesus but Kovalev, man, he's the man. And
he's sick tough.
Just so good, so skilled. One of my favorite players to watch play because he looks so different.
I know.
And David Perron, who we've had on the podcast, hope people enjoyed that interview that we had with him a few weeks ago. He loved Kovalev. Absolutely loved Kovalev. As always, this show is brought to you by, this podcast is brought to you by Car Shield.
Car Shield. Fucking both. It doesn't matter. Well, Car Shield.
Is it a show?
I signed up, by the way, for Car Shield.
Oh, my God. You finally did it. They had to ask you again.
Sorry. I've been out of town. Sorry. I've been out of town. It was Kate and I's first 1 year anniversary, and we're going for 2 next year, okay? We're going for 2. But we had to get away. And you know what? I don't even answer emails. You know what? I'm going to blame it on no connection down at the lake. Go ahead. I mean, not the Lake Ozarks, by the way. Go.
Why do I have to babysit you? They're like, can you please get Cam to sign up? I'm like,
pay you money.
I'll try. It took you about 2 weeks to do it.
And I did.
No, I'm glad you did. So how does it feel to have coverage?
Oh, unbelievable.
Are you a little more daring on the road?
I hope not.
No.
I hope not. No, I guess I'm more comfortable. How's that?
Yeah.
That's how you started off, Andy.
Yeah.
You should ask me, are you more comfortable on the road? I'm like, yeah, I am. Am I more daring? What am I in NASCAR? Jeez Louise.
What I mean is,
what school did you go to?
Are you okay knowing that if something bad happens to your car, you're protected?
How daring? Are you going to switch over to lanes without looking daring? No, I'm not doing that.
CarShield gives you options most people won't.
You're right.
You know that?
Yeah, I do.
What do you think that means?
They give you more options.
Yeah,
like you can look through more options. What do you want? Here's options.
You get to pick
your
favorite mechanic or dealership.
Yeah. There's some badass
It's
ones.
not like they tell you where you have to go. You pick it yourself.
I like this cat.
And they hook you up with a rental car.
This cat's badass. He gets things done.
So if your engine goes bad, your computer, whatever it is, it's all good. That should be their
motto.
Motto. It's all good.
Motto. Everything's good. It is.
Hey, if your computer goes down, it's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about that computer. They'll fix it.
800-857-2481. 800-857-2481. CarShield.com. Mention the promo code CAM.
CAM. So easy.
Somebody spelled your name KAM.
Yeah, that was Russian Putin.
Oh,
on,
it
Twitter.
was.
Yeah.
Like the fake Russian.
Fake Russian Putin on Twitter spells my name with a C. I don't mind that because
no, with a
when
K.
You're,
it's with a K.
Oh no, I mean with a K. Because when you played in Russia back in the day, I remember Pavel Bure playing for Soviet Union. He had a K on his jersey. I'm like, "What's that, Dad?" He's like, "No, that means he's captain." But it's
and
captain
it was on
of
the
Russia.
other shoulder too.
It's on the other shoulder. My dad had to explain to me. I'm like, "What's up?"
You didn't know that.
I had no idea what that meant.
All right, promo code CAM. As embarrassing as that is, save 10%. CarShield.com. Deductible may apply. 800-857-2481. Again, 1-800-857-2481. Call our friends over at CarShield today. And speaking of friends, call Dan Bellman. Bellman.com. Get yourself a new car. Cadillac, Buick, GMC on one side of the street. On the other side, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. It's that easy. Pick and choose which way you want to go.
How many options are they going to give you, Andy?
Tons of options.
How many options are they giving you?
New cars, used cars. Get yourself hooked up and do it the right way with our boy Dan Bellman, who's been supporting hockey for years in this city.
Oh, my word. He does a lot. And you know what? He's got a lot of options for you. You want that Escalade? I think that'd look good on you. Yeah. I think it'd up your status.
I'm getting one.
You're at level like 1.3. It'd get you to 2.7. I think that's a big increase. That's what we want. Helps out the podcast as well. No, they're great people. They make you feel comfortable going in there. Your wife wants to walk in there.
We're going to get out there. We got to get out there soon.
I know. We need to do a video out
We got to be doing some videos.
Do some video.
Jamie, we got to hook that up. We got to get out to Bellman.
Absolutely.
With an H. BEHLMANN.com. Also, Cope24.com. All right. We're at the Normal Brand. Check them out, normalbrand.com. Get yourself some new goods, some new swag.
Summertime coming,
summer.
baby. Yep.
You got to look good, man.
Trendy.
This place is unreal. Again, in the heart of Ladue, for those of you who are here in St. Louis. But check them out online. They will bring it to you and deliver,
great people too.
Whatever you
Another
order
hockey family, by the way.
Oh,
they love hockey, love
people.
the Blues and all that.
All right. Alexei Kovalev, man, the real deal, joins us here on the Cam and Strick podcast. We want to catch up and see what's going on with
the big
Alexei
boy.
Kovalev. What are you doing right now? What's the latest?
What am I doing right now? I just came back from playing golf with my son. Nothing else really. Like probably in an hour, I'm gonna go ride the bike 30 miles, do a little stretch, and day's over.
Just 30?
Yes.
What do you mean on the
Just
bike?
to start with the.
Is it a Peloton bike? Like Andy likes to watch this hot chick on a Peloton. They think they're dating right now. So is it that? Are you riding outside? Where you live in Connecticut?
No, I'm riding outside.
Okay, 30 miles.
Wow,
God
so
damn.
You ride the bike, road bike. You and Trevor Linden, man. Some of these guys who like to ride the bikes and stay in shape. Could you still play right now, Covey? When's the last time you were on the ice prior to quarantine?
Well, I've been assistant coach in KHL, so I've been on the ice during the season all the time with the players, working with the forwards, and usually when I come back, usually around April, we start our men's league here, not too far from my house, where we have like 6 teams that we play against each other once or twice a week.
I knew you were going to say that, like without even knowing, Covey. I knew you were one of those players that loves the game so much.
Yep.
You're like, I don't care if I'm not making millions of dollars playing anymore, but I'm still going out there and playing, man.
No, it's just fun. I mean, it's fun for me and fun for other guys to play, against NHL players. And I mean, I would have been feeling the same way if I was in their position. If somebody comes in and. Mike Komisarek sometimes comes to play. Ryan Shannon sometimes come to play. I mean, it's just a fun, play with the boys and show everybody. I mean, we are the same people as they are.
Yeah, you're the exact same person, Covey, especially when you toe drag them 15 times and you got about 30 goals in one game. I'm sure they're having a blast out there.
I got to somehow work on my game. So, I mean, I can, that's the only chance I have. So it's a little practice for me.
All right, so you're an assistant coach. First of all, you should be a head coach. When your last name is Kovalev,
no shit,
you should be the head coach. So,
well, time will come.
We'll write an email.
So are you over there? Are you living in Russia during the hockey season, traveling? I mean, you're on the ice every day. I mean, you're all in, aren't you?
Well, I'm actually been assistant coach for a Chinese team that's based in KHL league, and it's been exists for about 4 years now, that team, and they create this team because of Olympics for 22. So the Chinese want to get ready for Olympics, and I mean, we have players that they mostly Canadian Americans, but they all heritage Chinese, parents or grandmothers, whatever. So I mean, it's travel. The Russia has got 11 time zones, and imagine travel from China around Russia to play the game. I mean, here you're talking about 6 hours travel, 3 hours time difference. There you constantly change, between 3, 4, 8, 9 hours, and I calculated, I kept all the numbers, all the travel numbers, and I calculated, I think it was, I think it was, we spent 86,000 miles, I think.
Wow.
I'd say probably more than that.
How many in China? I mean, can you speak Chinese?
No, I'm sorry. No, 125, I think.
Oh,
yeah. I'm a mathematician, by the way.
I was going to say, Cam.
I'm a mathematician.
Cam finished. He dropped out after ninth grade, actually. Yeah. So I mean, and that's what happens right over here. You go to the OHL, then they don't even go to school. In China, I would imagine it's a little bit different because they're so into their education. How's your Chinese, Covey? Can you speak a little Chinese for us?
No, I mean, that's the only language. We were talking about before, learning German, English, whatever, French, Italian, but this is the language people say easy to learn. But I think for me, easier to learn the Japanese than the Chinese. And plus, they have all this traditional and other Chinese, like the different types of Chinese language. So I don't know. And they're all based on sounds. It's like most of, like, if you read or trying to figure out their writing, it's a lot to do with the sounds, how you pronounce. If you make a wrong sound, that's already sound different words. So I mean, I was like, I don't even want to try because I don't want to sound stupid. If I'm gonna say something, my sound wasn't the same. They're gonna think, what the hell is he saying?
The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by CarShield. Nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and right off the bat, you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now back to the interview.
Well, yeah, I get that confusing too, Chinese and Japanese. I speak both fluent extremely well, don't get me wrong. But don't you, with all the travel, Kobe, gosh, you played a long time, you retired, you came back, you retired, like 18 hours on a plane. And then you got to go out there and you got to kind of perform and you got to do your thing. Like, is it sometimes a little too much?
I think, if you're talking about me being as a player and travel, I think the most, like, most of the time you don't really think about the travel. Of course, it kind of kills you at one point of the season. But I mean, the way you travel in NHL, it's much easier. Even you got long travel, but I mean, everything is so simple. You drive. Yeah. You take your car all the way to the plane, you park it next to the plane, you walk in, and same thing, play the game, jump on the plane, and come back. I mean, everything's just so simple. In Russia, they're using charter planes, but you still have to go through airports and, like a normal person, but, waiting for a flight to depart and all that. That kind of kills a little bit. It's definitely not not easy, but I think, just to travel. People, like for me, I love to travel, so it's not really affect me that much. Like most of the people, they hate to travel. Plus they understand they have to play the game. After that, somehow find time to recover and perform the maximum. But I don't know. Just because I love to travel, and for me, it's like being in a different city, or being around different people, or like just changing the Groundhog Days. That's probably the best thing for me. And because like right now I'm going crazy. Like every day is like Groundhog Day, and I'm trying to entertain myself and trying to change the days as much as I can, like do different things. But when you see same thing and over, same house, same people, same, everything, environment, it kind of kills you. So I think that distracts me from, when you travel, distracts me from, not thinking about, okay, I got to travel, then I have to play, like how, whatever. You're just concentrating on hockey, and that's it. Travel kind of just bypasses.
Is this Brandon Yip's team that you're coaching with the billionaire owner?
Yes.
What's the owner all about? Have you been on his plane? I mean, is this guy taking you out and whining and dining you, or what?
Well, I heard one friend of mine flew with him, and he said that the things that they serve, the food they serve for him, like it was disgusting. They like to eat all this dead stuff, and it was like you said, it was disgusting. So I don't think I want to go on the plane with him. But I would probably go on the boat. I heard he's got a big boat.
In the south of France somewhere.
Yeah, that's where the big dogs are.
Oh, there is.
The south of France, right there, baby.
Oh yeah.
I'm not actually a big boat guy, but I'm getting really seasick. But
hey,
you don't have to go in the ocean. You don't have to go in the ocean to have fun with that.
Exactly.
If it's a 7,
as long as I see a shore, I'm fine. But if it's short out of my sight, I'm done.
If it's a several 100-foot yacht, you don't even know you're on a boat.
On it, Kobe.
You'll be all good. You'll be dangling on the deck.
He'll be stick handling.
Probably would.
Hitting dolphins.
Probably brings his stick with him. Listen, I want to go back to when you were a child. Like, we've had a couple of different Russian players on. Darius Kasparaitis, Ilya Kovalchuk. Man, we always love to hear your story, where you came from. Like, how was life growing up in your household? Tell us about your family.
Well, I mean, my family, my mom worked at a food store, and my dad worked at a car factory. You probably heard they used to have them in Canada, Lada cars. And that's for he worked at that factory for 35 years. And, most of my parents from the country, and, they met each other when they moved to, both of them working in the city of Togliatti. I was born there. I was lucky enough. I lived right across from the stadium and the rink, which is like a 5-7 minutes walk. I never even knew the streets in my hometown. Every time I need to take a bus, I don't even know, which bus to take and what streets. My parents like, oh, if you want to go meet your friends, take this street or take this bus. I was like, where is that? Like, which direction? Like I never even know anything. And then they build a swimming pool, the stadium where they, I also been going to, like, during the summertime when the season's off. I love to swim, and I signed myself in for, swimming team, and I'll be like, training swimming, blah, blah, blah. I even had a, coach asked me to quit hockey and go into swimming. I said, no. I said no, I'm already, established myself. This is what I want to do. But no, I mean, it's I think right now our town maybe 1,200,000, maybe 1,300,000. Back then it was probably like 800,000 people. Just a young kid, been funny stories is like because I'm so close to the stadium, and we had an open rink there at the stadium, and also we had a at the stadium 400 meters that run they have, and soccer field, like most of the stadiums do. In the winter time, they freeze it, that the 400 meters
track. Yeah.
So they were like the track, and the speed skaters used to practice on them, but when they're not on it, anybody can come and skate, and that's where all people from the town go and skate around. And I used to dress myself at home, because like, where are you going to dress if you go to stadium? It's cold outside. Like, how are you going to change? So you had to change everything, put everything on at home. And what I did is, like, I put my skates, everything's on, and I lived on the 5th floor, and I would just like get on my ass and then just go and just like skipping steps on my ass, like all the way down to the 1st floor.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, and then you just just because there's a lot of snow outside, you pretty much just skating on the street, like through the snow and all the way to the stadium.
That's pretty cool, man. I mean, and honestly, so you came up, blue collar family, and were your parents very supportive of you? Did they, when you were young playing, were you dominant? I mean, how'd you get your hands well? Like, were you stick hand? Did you become obsessed with it? Tell us how you became who you are as far as the hockey career is concerned.
Well, my dad, out of all my family, I think only my dad, did in the army weightlifting. Never been a professional, but, he just loved to weightlifting. And he wants me to become a weightlifter. And, something that I really like when I start taking training with hockey, I realized like this is not for me. And I'm glad I never turned into the weightlifter guy. But it's something that my dad loved to do. But, I was following my friend because I live across, like I said, from the stadium. My friend, my neighbor always go and play hockey, and I go with him, watch him. And then at one point I just become kind of interested. He said, do you want me to introduce you to the coach, and you can talk to him and see if you want to try play hockey? So I said, yeah, seems like a fun game. And then he introduced me to the coach, and then coach told me come in July before the season, when the training starts. So he also in Russia, I don't know how it's here. I think I'm sure probably the same thing in here. The coaches want to talk to the parents first, as long as the parents agree that you can't just like go meet the coach and it's like, okay, I'm starting tomorrow. They want to talk to the parents, make sure parents is okay with you playing any sports. So, I got introduced to the coach, and I started the following day, and it didn't take me too long. I mean, I learned to skate on my, my dad bought me, skates, but they were really bad. The leather on the skates, I was like, you can't even, keep your feet together, and they were like just, they're so weak. And I remember he found like a big thick piece of leather, and he just kind of stitched around the back of my skate to just have a little bit support. And then I couldn't really it was hard for me to skate on. So every time I come back, because my sister is older, and we used to go to the same school, and she was coming back from school much later than I did. And, by the time she comes back, I would just grab her figure skates because, she used to skate at figure skates. So I would just go and skate at her figure skates. And that's how I learned skating. And then when I had to start playing hockey, and I had to switch to normal skates because I can't play hockey in figure skates. So I it took me a while. It took me maybe 2-3 practices just get away from the toe push.
And he still wears figure skates, by the way.
So it was the coach would keep yelling at me stop toe pushing, it's not figure skates. So, but a week later, my skating improved so much. They even sometimes during the practice, coach would be like, okay, stop everyone. Let's watch how Kovalev go a one lap and just show everybody how you have to skate, how you have to push. So I'm actually was setting as an example, for everybody how we have to push with your skate and how you have to glide and everything. So they were watching me go entire lap. And same thing with the stick handling. But stick handling, when after 2 years I would start playing with the kids 2 years older than me. because the coach noticed my potential, and he said, let him play with the older guys, and he will mature quicker. You will learn quicker, and get beat up with the older guys. So in the beginning it was kind of tough, but he told me, he said, every day grab a ball or something or the puck and like stick handling around your stool or something like that at home for 15 minutes every day, and you'll improve. So like I got really stuck with that drill at home, and I used to do for like hours and hours that drill, because back old days we didn't have any phones or anything like that to play with, and all we had to do is go outside to do something, play soccer, play hockey, or you get up from the couch and grab a stick and stick handling around the stool. So that's pretty much entire day that I've been doing, with the puck, with the ball, like stick handling around the stool. And then in the summertime, my dad made me heavy pucks, and I was shooting, but we going on the on the court, there was asphalt there, and I would shoot about 350 heavy pucks, and just to improve my shooting. So and then my shot got so strong. I think around like age 10, when I was playing, the coach put me on the power play, puts me defense, and and the other teams was like they kept one guy next to me because they knew if they gave me like 3 shots, I would probably score 2 at least. That's how hard I was shooting. Age 10, and but it just kind of it was. I liked it so much playing with the older guys, and I was improving so fast, and plus doing that drill every day at home around the stool, and all of a sudden, like I'm going to tournament, and like I'm not really worse than anybody else on the team that with the guys 3 years older than me, and I really like improved, and every time the coach of my age asked me to go to tournaments, and the game was so easy for me. Everything is just like a slow motion in my age. So pretty much, like I said, I matured so quick, and learned this game so quick, and then that's why maybe 14, I decided go to Moscow, and I told my parents I finished my 8th grade. I'm going to Moscow. I got invited to Dynamo Club, which is back old days. There was it's still the same.
Mm-hmm.
Red Army, Dynamo, Spartak, like all those the main clubs and who've been winning championships. And I got invited to Dynamo, play Dynamo, and I said, I'm leaving after 8th grade. I'm leaving. I'm going to play for Dynamo. They're like, my mom looked at me like, you're 14 years old, like go to Moscow, which is 1,000 kilometers from my hometown. I was like, where are you going? Like 14 years old. I said, well, I don't care. I got invited. I have nothing to do here. Like this is a big club, and I think I have a chance to succeed. And that's how I finished 8th grade. It wasn't easy with my mom. My dad was a little bit easy with that because he saw how I have a vision, and like it can't stop me now, and I want to go, and he supported me on that. But with mom was a little bit tough. She was crying all the time, and I can, as a parent now, I understand what my mom felt, because looking at kids 14 years old, like there's no way I would let my son go to like 14 years old, live somewhere, because I don't think they're even ready at that age to live by themselves and take care of themselves.
I agree with that.
It's interesting because you're 16. And I'm looking at your stats here. You're playing for Dynamo. Like that's how you say.
Oh, sorry.
We always call it Dynamo. Dynamo is the right way to say it. Cam, and Cam has no idea how the hell to say it.
Kobe.
So, but Kasparidis was 16 at the same time. Yeah. You had Alexei Kovalev was 18. Igor Korolev was 18. But you also had guys on the team who are like 30 years old and north of 30. So how did they accept you, and how were you guys treated at 16 years of age? You said 14. Like, are you getting paid back then? Like, what are you doing when you're not at the rink? And how were the setup for you? Was it like a nice setup? Like, give me an idea what the living arrangements were like.
Well, when I moved, because they were bringing a lot of like potential players. If you get picked up, not drafted, but like recruited, call it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, I got recruited at one of the tournaments, and the coach or scout, you call it. He noticed me and he said, like, do you want to play for Dynamo? Blah, blah. That's how everything started it. And then when I came back home from that tournament, I told my parents, I said, well, I got invited to play Dynamo, and this scout was at the tournament, blah, blah, blah. So, like, do you want to talk to you? And if you guys okay with that. So anyway, I was like so, happy about the invitation. And then when it's time came to go to Moscow, and I remember some person, I think Nikolishin was already there also, and he's supposed to meet us, and I think he's got confused with a different train or something like that. And me, like my dad coming from small town into Moscow without knowing anything about Moscow, it's a huge town. So we arrived, we never saw him. And my dad was like, where are you going to go? Like, I said, Dad, why are you, if he's not here, let's just, figure it out. I'm sure we get on the subway, you're going to find Dynamo, station and like, find the people there. He's like, no, the city is so big. Like, don't just wait, somebody going to show up. Anyway, we arrived in the morning. We sat entire day, entire night, and in the morning he decided to like, okay, let's see if we can find ourselves. So, and of course, it was really easy. Everything in the subway shows, which train to take and where everything is. We arrived at Dynamo station and we found a ice rink, and people thought we already like arrived the day before, and they never knew that we sat at the entire time at the train station waiting for somebody to meet us. So anyway, in the final, they gave me some food coupons that you're gonna use, because we had a place like a dormitory kind of place. It's not even a hotel; it's like a dormitory. People coming in for like a camps and stuff like that. They had a track. Speed stage track, and people coming from for training camp, stuff like that, they would stay there for like 10 days, 12 days, whatever. So we lived in that place, and across from maybe like 10 minutes walk, there was like a cafe where we could use those coupons for food. And of course, our parents were giving some money that we can buy if you want some ice cream or whatever. But a year later, I, start playing with the kids 1 year older than me, and I would start playing for that team where the Kasparaitis was, because he's 1 year older than me. So I would start playing for his team, and they were paying us 160 rubles for two people. So they would give us, it's like $160, and for players split up between two. And we just lived in that dormitory. We go to school every for next 2 years, and then when we finished the school, and the coach from professional team, they invited us to stay at the Baza, which is like was 45 minutes away outside the city, where it's like a training facility. They live there, they train there, and once in a while they go, they let go to the families, see the families, but most of it be like, it's a nice, great facility. They have restaurants, it's everything based in the facility. And we used to remember during the night time where there's like nobody around, we were just one of us dressed as a goalie, and we could have gone on the ice anytime we wanted to. Like, we could have done anything, because it's right, like, you don't even have to come out to go anywhere. It's like everything inside, food, living, and ice, and it was perfect. So, and Yurzinov, who became a head coach of Dynamo back then, he really loved young talents, because the coach before never really cared about the young talents. He only relied on older guys. But when Yurzinov came, that's when we had opportunity to join a professional team and actually kind of like get more mature around the older guys. I think Kasparaitis joined them first, and then I was a second, and then Yashin and Nikolishin joined afterwards. But he really spent a lot of time. Like, he let us, like during the practices, sometimes you hook like an older guy, or you slash him, or like accidentally trip him or something like that. He'd be like turning around and slash you so hard, like you can have like bruise, I don't know, for next 2 weeks. But he would never, coach never gonna stop anything, or like and go and tell the older guys like, oh, don't touch the young guys, blah blah blah. So it's never happened. So they want us to actually get beat up, like if kind of get mature, experience what it's like.
Damn
And
right.
I remember one time, because you remember Tatarinov, he played in Washington, Mikhail Tatarinov. So
Cam doesn't, but I do. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Go ahead. I do. Fucking brainiac.
So you remember he was a defenseman, and I'm kind of like swinging, and I going down the boards, and I'm looking back, like blue line coming in, and he still hasn't passed the puck to me. It's like I be getting outside, and I'm looking, and I start slowing down, and all of a sudden, just the last moment, he passes to me, and then he after that, when the drill stopped, he's like, hey kid, come to me. I was like, what happened? Don't ever look back. Just keep skating forward. I'll get you the puck.
Yep.
So next time, of course, like I'm turning around, like I'm swinging, and I'm going, and I see like I'm kind of scared to turn around because he told him that turn around, don't look, because he's trying to maybe like bounce off the wall or some off the boards, and the puck will just land in front of me. I'm like, the blue line was like almost like 3 feet away, and like I still don't see the puck, and all of a sudden look back, and he's just like stopping again. The drill stop again is like, I told you, one more time you're going to turn around, I'm going to slash you so hard next time you're not going to do it. So I'm like, that's kind of attitude they had against young guys.
Yeah.
So anyway, like I couldn't do it. I mean, they just I had to get used to this kind of skill, I guess, or I don't know how to explain it, but they just played in a different level. We weren't used to that level yet. We were just learning that level, and like I said, playing with 16 years old, playing with the 30 years olds. I mean, it's like, it feels like you get mature in 2 days.
Well, I hope you remembered that though, Covey, when you were the big boy. And you got guys like me on the fourth line coming down, and I mess a pass up to you, and then you give me that look. So when you're the big boy in the NHL, you got to remember that you went through that hardcore stuff, and it does take a toll on you as a player. When even the look during a drill during practice, man, it can go a long way. So. Just remember that.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's a little bit different. I understand where coming from, but in Russia they teach from being 10, 11 years old. If you make a pass, you got to make sure you respect your partner with the pass. It's like you can't just like throw like a bone to the dog, and you just like trying to deal with that puck. By the time you're trying to settle down, somebody gonna finish check and kill you. So like we always been respected. That's why coming from Russia to NHL, and you see guys coming, young guns coming to NHL, just join like first year, and they can make even simple pass. I mean, of course, it kind of look. I mean, this is like a 11 years old program. Like you should be able to do that really easily. And being 19, 20, and you can make a simple pass, of course we're gonna give him look, because like forget about long passes, but short simple pass you can make, of course it's kind of bothers you.
Yeah, no doubt. Cam and Strick podcast here for our boy Dan Bellman with Bellman.com.
Yeah, baby.
You need some new wheels? Why not get a Cadillac, a Buick, a GMC? Head out to Troy today. And again, don't forget about Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram right across the street.
No doubt.
Right there in Troy, Missouri. Visit them online. Check out their new selection, the pre-owned selection, the best service you will find anywhere in the country. Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the summer.
Yeah.
Now back to the interview. When did you first have your eyes set on coming over to the National Hockey League and being the first Russian to ever be drafted in the first round of the NHL? Like, how much does that mean to you? How much did it mean to you then?
Well, I mean, let's start from the last one. Of course, it means everything. I mean, just being the first and everything, it's like, it's big. It's the rest of your life. Whatever you say, you'd be like, oh yeah, when you be drafted first, when you became all-star captain, like first. So like everything is first, and win the Stanley Cup first, it's like a big deal, of course. The way I found out, believe it or not, I mean, I said many times, but probably you guys haven't heard this before. The way I found out about when I was drafted from my friend who came to the training facility, the Dynamo. He said, "Oh, there's a Sport Express news saying that you got drafted by the Rangers." And I said, "What does that mean? Like drafted? So they want me to play for them, or like what does it mean?" So imagine, being 18 years old and not even know. These days they all come into the draft, they're sitting there present, and I'm like, I didn't even know what the draft is. Like, what does it mean? Like you got drafted by the Rangers. Okay, so what is that? So I didn't even know what that means. So he said, well, I guess they want you to play for them. I said, so and like, when did I go? Or like I didn't even know what the question to ask. Like, okay, for me it was like, I mean, maybe because the Russian league was so good and the Russian players and so good, we were winning everything, and maybe I wasn't really care about like NHL. I mean, we watched some videos, we've seen some highlights that how they play in NHL, but we were so like positive about our like how good we are, and nobody really cares about NHL, I guess. And we only knew the one part we knew is like going to NHL, you're gonna make more money and you're gonna have a better lifestyle. That's the way everybody probably approached back old days, going to NHL, just to want to have a better lifestyle. But maybe that's the way I felt too. I never really like took it really seriously, and then when Neil Smith came to Dynamo and brought the gifts, bag with gifts and then the jersey, and we sat in a room with the all the coaches and him, and they got a translator there. He's explaining everything, what's going on, and that's when I start really understanding what the draft and what actually happened, like with me. So I realized I got drafted by this. It's like I've been recruited by Dynamo, same thing, and I got drafted by the Rangers, and I have a chance to go to play in America. So I kind of got a little scared, like I am already far enough, 1,000 kilometers from my hometown in Moscow, and it was kind of easy for me to leave home at 14 years old, because this is something that I want to achieve, play for big teams and win the championship. And now, like, I'm going over the ocean. It's like I got a little bit scared, but same time, like, maybe I have a chance to show my skill, and on the side, how the Russians play. And I remember, I think we were preparing. There was a last Canada Cup training camp, and I was on it, but they didn't accept me. They were worried about I'm too young to go to Canada Cup. So instead of that, Yurzinov sent me to the camp of Rangers, and so I came to the Rangers camp, and the guys were like excited to see like I show some moves, and then everybody was laughing like how I dangle everybody around everybody, and they want to keep me. They want me like to stay. They asked me to stay right away. I said no, like I have a really important season coming up, because I had like a World Junior Championship, Olympic Championship, like Russian championships. Like I have a lot of tournaments that I want to do first before I come to NHL. And I also promised head coach that I'll be back. Like I'm not gonna stay. I'm gonna come back at least for another year. So of course, being lucky enough, I won the gold medal of a World Championship. We won the Russian championship, won the Olympic championship. So like pretty much, the only thing I had left is go
Stanley
to the
Cup
States and win the Stanley Cup. And of course, when I joined Rangers in the second year, I was able to win the Stanley Cup. So it's pretty much like in 3 years, I won pretty much all the trophies.
Wow. Yeah, there you go, man. So you're a winner, and then Mike Keenan's your coach in 1994, and it seems like every player that we have on here, whether it's Ed Belfour, Jeremy Roenick, I mean, I can go on and on and on, had Mike Keenan as a coach. So did you get along with him? How was he with you?
We experience. Nobody knows like what it's like to be with a Tikhonov or Yurzinov on the bench. So, if somebody had experience to be with those two guys,
wow,
Mike Kinnon's not even close.
Wow, I love that.
Wow,
interesting.
Wow, really?
So, and tell you this funny story when it was coming to like before the playoffs. And so Mike Keenan decided to motivate Russian players. So he brings everybody, all the Russian players, 4 of us, to his office. And he starts giving us all this shit. It's like, oh, you're Russians. You don't give a shit about the Stanley Cup. Like, you don't care about playing in America, blah, blah. So, like, we were looking at each other and kind of smiling. It was like, is this like a motivation speech? I was like, what is this? It was like, does he know that we've been coached by much tougher coaches than he is. So like we just didn't took it seriously. We just let him, speak out, and we just left just laughing, and like never like it's never happened.
Wow, I love that, man.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
You're like, well, this guy is tough. Like he's nothing compared to what we've dealt with. What about when he left you on the ice for 5 minutes, man? I know this is a story that a lot of people have heard before, but I've never been able to ask you. And we've had Mike Keenan on the podcast too, Alexei. Just so you know, man, like he's come on the show, but he left you on the ice for 5 minutes, and you basically shoved it up his ass by scoring a goal and drawing 2 penalties. So, what do you remember about that?
Yeah.
Well, that's my attitude. If you're trying to prove something to me, I'm going to try to prove something back. So, he was just any young guy coming into NHL, like they're so excited, they have a lot of energy, and I always had a tendency to overplay my shifts. Like it's not because I did it on purpose. It's just like because there's so much energy, and I'm like, it's just get into it, and like sometimes, my alignment's already changed, and I'm not even paying attention like what's going on. I'm so into the game, and all of a sudden I see is like I play already 2 shifts, come back on the bench, I don't even feel like I played 2 minutes, and so Mike was getting kind of pissed off. He through Nemchinov, he sent me a message that Alex, if you play one more time like this, I'm going to bench you. So, Sergey translated to me, and I like, yeah, of course. But again, I mean, it's like, it's not that I did it on purpose, but again, I was playing there. For me, when I old guy with a lot of energy, 30 seconds, it's like a 1 second, I just came out of the ice and also I have to change. So like I continue. Plus, sometimes you feel like there's a chance I can get something out of it, like, or there's a puck in the offensive zone. Like, why would I have to change? Because it's like maybe I'll get the goal or something like that. And all of a sudden you're stuck in offensive zone for another 45 seconds. And of course, now you're like playing minute and a half or minute 40. So anyway, and at one point he had enough, and what I've been told, by players. So he told them, he said, when Alex comes back on the bench, just tell him like go back, and don't let him change. So like I'm coming back on the bench. Of course I'm late and overplaying my shift, and the guy's like yelling to me like a really serious face, and it's like, Alex, keep playing, like go back. I thought like maybe they want me. He wants double shift me. Because I'm playing well, and everything's and everything I'm doing like is great, and so I'm just went right back. I was like so happy, blah blah blah. So another minute and a half, and I'm going back on the bench. I'm a little kind of exhausted. My legs get a little tired, and all of a sudden, entire team just standing by the boards. So what he told him, like he said, when Alex trying to change a climb over the board, don't let him. Everybody get up and don't let them change. So I'm coming to the bench, and they're all standing, and I'm like trying to change, and they all pushing me away, like, keep playing, Alex, keep playing. And then I see some of the guys like smiling a little bit, and then I realize what's happening. So like Mike trying to send me a message or whatever. So then I got pissed off, and I was like, okay, screw you. Like I'm not going to come back in the bench at all. So, and that's when I get really angry. I draw 2 penalties, and then when Zubov made that pass in the blue line, I didn't even have energy go around the defenseman. I just walk into the zone and just shoot it so hard, like close my eyes and shoot it so hard. The puck almost bounced all all the way back to the blue line.
Yep, yep. No, it was a bomb. I mean, you absolutely ripped it, and
then it was like 5 minutes. Everybody's saying 5 minutes, but it was 7.5 because 5 minutes in the second period, and then third period started. I played another 2.5 minutes.
Did he say anything to you? Did he ever say anything to you about it, or no?
No, I went to the, everybody was just kind of laughing, smiling in the locker room, and he didn't say anything. He thought that's the way he wants to send a message to me. So I was like, okay, screw you. So anyway, third period started. I'm back on the ice again. I was like, Alex, go. So he kind of with an angry look. And so I went up, and I don't really care, is he angry or not angry? Who cares? So I went up, and I was like, I'm going to prove you I'm going to score another goal. And of course, I had a chance. They would go, and the puck was in the offensive zone, and they were going D to D. I intercept that pass, and it was like I just lost the puck trying to dig around the goalie, and I lost the puck. I could have scored another goal, but
come on, Alexei, you should have had two. Let's go.
You should.
So anyway, after 2.5, another 2.5 minutes, decided, let's see if I can change. So I went back on the bench, and they let me change. And but I think we played back-to-back game. I think play in the Islanders arena the next night, and I only played 2.5 minutes entire game.
The whole game.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, he decided probably, I don't know, he didn't say anything to me, and then never, told Sergei to translate anything. I guess he just kind of figured he had enough yesterday of playing time, so give him a little break today.
That's a tough
one. Cam would maybe play 2.5 minutes. I know, I'm like, you're 2.5 minutes? That was like his average, by the way.
That's what I do. so not anymore. Not anymore. But no, everything happened kind of fast for you, man. You move away, you're hanging out with grown men, then you win a bunch of championships and this and that and the other, and all of a sudden you win a Stanley Cup and you're making a little bit of money and you're living in New York City. Explain that. You didn't grow up wealthy, and now you're in the spotlight at the Big Apple and you're making money. Did you spend a lot of it? Give me your day to day at that age.
Well, I mean, we decided to stay in New York because first of all, we like 4 seasons. Most of the people do move to Florida because it's nice and warm every day and everything. But we like to see snow. We like to have a sun. So we always living in Russia, we always experience 4 seasons, and that's the way we used to. And when I got when I had a chance to play in New York, and we first I rent a townhouse, and then after 12 years, we decided to buy the house, stay in New York. I don't know. I mean, being a young kid and have a lot of money, and of course you want to experience a lot of different things. What you could have done when you were young, and of course I start learning how to fly the planes and play golf and a lot of different things. But I really enjoyed flying, and I learned fly helicopters, airplanes. I flew about 15 different models of airplane and 4 different types of helicopters.
Wow, damn, dude.
And so I got the rating, and I bought a plane. I had a plane for a while, probably one plane I had maybe for 5-6 years, and the other one about 8 years. And we flew with the family to Aspen skiing. We flew a lot of different places. It was so much easy to travel because between living, I have an airport right by my house, White Plains Airport, and it takes about 25 minutes between leaving my house and getting the air. So I mean, it's really easy to travel, and we travel a lot with the family, and it was convenient. But of course, when you come to retire, the expenses go high, and but you don't make income is not that much. So I decided to sell the plane.
That's probably a good idea.
So buy a boat now. Buy a boat anymore. Buy a boat now.
So now you don't fly. But you play with some incredible players: Gretzky, Messier, Mario Lemieux. First off, before I even ask you what you learned from all those, do you put Jaromir Jagr? Is he in the same category as those three guys I just mentioned, Alexei?
Well, of course, he's just European. Those guys, Canadian Americans, and he is European, but he is with the same style of scoring touch and vision and domination. Is those three.
Okay, that's a good answer, man, and that's the answer I was kind of hoping that you were going to give. Yep. I'd put him up there too, man. He's one of the best players certainly we've ever seen. But Gretzky, Messier, Lemieux, what do you take from those guys? Who had the most influence on your career and life?
Well, I think being as a young kid, just watch him on TV, and I was like, I'm still once in a while think about how lucky I am, watching those guys on TV, and I had a chance to play with all three of them. And but it's hard to separate them and say like this is better guy or worse. I think all of them have a unique skills, and I think from all three of them you can learn a lot. They had a chance to experience playing hockey on different levels, European levels, Canada Cup, so they know how to play any hockey you throw on them. And of course Mark was he was great leadership, that leadership kind of skills you can learn from him, how he leads the team. Wayne is even he was on the end of his career, but the skill, the touch, the vision he has, and how he approaches the game, how he sees the game, and that's really unique. But it was really easy to play for me because I was adjusting to his game. I know what he likes to do. Always walk into the zone and he wants the puck right away, and he always tells me like, go to the net, I'll give it to you. So that was a really simple. But Mario's like, he's got all the tools. I mean, I feel bad that he's got all that problems, health problems his career. Mm-hmm. But if not that, I mean, he is like one of the unique players, like such a natural player with all the abilities you can even like it's hard to even explain how natural he is, like how much feel he has for goals, and how well he sees the ice, and of course his reach makes a big difference too, and his size. But still, I mean, be able to like shoot the puck the way he shoots, and sees the ice. I mean, all those, we always laughed when we played in Pittsburgh. We always laughed at his goals when he's like set up on the goalie line and he shoots from their short side. Like we just, all he had to do is just give him perfect pass, so he's got the good lineup with the goal. And every time he shoots from there, like I don't understand. Sometimes we felt like goalie did it on purpose, let him score from there.
I remember watching this interview, and I think it was Gretzky and Messier driving to the rink together, and they were just having the conversation amongst themselves. And they said, the most important player on our team this season is going to be Alexei Kovalev. He's the most important player that we have. Like, do you ever recall these guys ever sitting you down and being like, man, listen, you have so much potential. You're so good. You can be one of the top players in the league. Did they ever push you and motivate you to be even better than maybe you were at the time?
First of all, I would never believe they said that.
Oh, they did it. They did. They absolutely said it. I'll never forget.
Well, if that's the case, I guess there's nothing for me to hide now. But I always say it's a really simple explanation. Why you think any other teams except Pittsburgh I played on, and I couldn't score 30 goals. But every time I played, every time when I played in Pittsburgh, I was able every season I easily score 30 goals and over.
I know. I was going to ask you, man, because your numbers were so high in Pittsburgh.
But what do you think? Why?
Did you not get the same ice time, not the same opportunity, or what?
The big boys are on the team.
Yeah,
because the big boys.
Well, I mean,
just because with big boys in Pittsburgh.
This
is the one thing I never understood. Like, why would you have to, if you bring a guy to the team with a lot of skill and a lot of potential. Why would you have to change him for different to play a different game? Why would you just let him play? When I got to Pittsburgh, what I've been told, like I even got spooked and surprised, because when I got brought to the office, like when I got traded, I arrived to Pittsburgh and the coach was like, "Oh, come to see me." He's like, "Alex, we know your potential, your skill. I'm not even trying to handcuff you. Like I'm not gonna try to teach you anything. I'm not gonna even bother you. Play the way you know how. That's all I need." And of course, what happened? I'm like, people always, all the media is like, "Oh, he never scored 30 goals." Like, and then I scored 30 goals plus. They're like, "Oh, that's just accident. It never happened again." And then I scored 44 goals. It's like, "Oh, I just played with Mario Lemieux and Jagr. That's why." I never play. I play with Jagr and Lemieux on the power play, but we had the most dominant line, Mario Straka and Robert Lang. Nobody give credit those two guys. Our line, because we were most dominant line, and the other line was competing against us: Hejuk, Sakic, and what's his name? The other guy, Tenge. Those, like, we were like one of the top lines in the league. We were like scoring 260, 270 points between three of us. And and then they would like always, he's scoring 40 goals because he played with Mario and Jagr. I mean, of course, I put up some points on the power play and everything with those two guys, but most of the time I play with Lang and Straka. But that's not the case. But the most important we're talking about here is they let me be myself, be like what I've been brought for, to NHL. And I never had that chance on the other teams. That's why I never understood. Every time I got traded a different team, like they're trying to teach me and make me to do something different.
What about Montreal? They did the same thing to you there too, or no? I mean, you were the captain, right?
Montreal is a little bit different. I think the media is so tough on everybody, and I don't know if everybody coaches differently, and I'm trying to play my game. We finally created. I remember I was playing with the Gilles Andres and Plekanis, and then they bring they have Kostitsyn brothers who've been playing the farm team, and so the Andre been brought a few times and playing the line, and then they send him back after 2 games, and then I asked the assistant coach, Kurt Muller, I said, can you guys leave Andre, just leave up to me, put me, with him and Plekanis, on the line with us, and let me work with him, give us 10 games. If in 10 games he's not going to get better, our line is not going to get better, send him back. But just give him 10 days, let me work with him. And of course, he told the coach, and they brought him, and we become one of the top line in the NHL. Wow. And so, I mean, the idea is here is I don't know if maybe some coaches don't see it. Some coaches, they trying to make everybody kind of play the same way, because it's a team. But I mean, team is a team. But I mean, the teams always have guys that do the scoring. Some guys do dirty work, playing the PK. Some guys power play. So there's got to be some kind of separation. But I mean, of course, it's all team. It's the same. Everybody, you can play under the same plan. Whatever coach the plan he gives, the game plan. I mean, we all do that. We have to follow the plan. But the same thing is, there's skill guys and there's hardworking guys. So that's something that I really never understood, and I always have to fight through it. And in Montreal, I mean, I was just trying as best as I could, and we had some good moments, bad moments, but I love every minute and being in Montreal, because there's so much history there, and the fans are great, and every hockey game was so excited because we always had a chance to come from behind. Even we against the Rangers, we were 5-0 down, and we came back and won a game in the shootout. So there's always been the exciting games in Montreal, and like I said, I love every minute of it.
Got a couple more for you here, Kobe. And the one question I want to know is there anybody that has better hands than you? Seriously though, Your hands are so dirty. I get that, but is there anybody that you could point at? Maybe we don't even know who he is. Maybe some kid plays over in Russia that no one knows about. Anybody have better hands than you?
I say I'm not sure if they better, but maybe the same. But if there is a better, then probably Datsuk.
Datsuk.
Oh,
yeah. No, he's
okay.
filthy.
Yeah,
he's
dirty,
filthy.
man.
Hey, listen. You feel like in the playoffs, 2004, when you got slashed in the hand and Glenn Murray went in and scored, you feel like you took too much heat for that? Like, how bad were you hurt when you took the slash there?
Well, he got me right in the spot where back then, like old days, they had these gloves. Like when you squeeze your fingers, they have like a sausage thing on the fingers, and it was separating from like the top part of the glove. So he got me right into he cracked my finger. It was not crack. What's it called? Fracture my finger, and the pain was so sharp. Like I just kind of. It's almost like when something hits the nerve or something like that. And like the first reaction was like, I didn't know, because there was just so much pain into my, my finger. And I mean, of course I could have probably, trying to do like, at least throw the puck away from from the zone, or like to give it to somebody right away, but at that point I just couldn't really think of anything.
Yeah. What are you most proud about, though? I mean, you got over 1,000 points. You played over 1,300 games. People don't realize how long you played. You feel like your numbers could have been better. You just kind of touched on it. Maybe your role was a little bit different. I mean, do you wish you would have stayed in Pittsburgh longer? I mean, how do you reflect on your career overall?
Well, I couldn't stay longer in Pittsburgh because they were going bankrupt and they were selling everybody. And Patrick was nice enough. He asked me like, Alex, we'd love to keep you, but we can't. And what team you want to go to? So they actually asked me like, what team do you want to go to? And they made a trade with that team. So that's when I went back to the Rangers. And then, I mean, of course, some things you can change. I could have probably shot the puck a little bit more. I don't know. I mean, I think, the time when I played in Pittsburgh, that's why I was, scoring all the goals, because I knew I'm going to play a lot of minutes. I knew I'm going to play my own game, and I wasn't worried about times, take a extra shot, and times it was going in when you're not expecting it. But when you playing under certain pressure, where it's like you're not sure, when's the next shift is going to be, how long is going to be, like, are you going to be playing power play, or are you going to be, playing 25 minutes, or are you going to play 16 minutes? So like you always trying to overdo things. Instead of taking a shot from a certain angle, you like trying to make another dangle and losing the puck. So that kind of maybe I could have changed, and maybe just like Ovechkin could have just shoot a puck from everywhere, and maybe I could have scored more goals and put up more points. But I don't really think that I can really change. The only thing I was hoping that if I never got all those knee surgeries, because I missed a lot of games, and that really kind of started dropping my career. I had always fighting mentally because I want to go back, and every time I got ACL done, and everybody knows that it takes about 6 to 7 months recovery. And after first ACL, I was ready to play after 3.5 months. That's how mentally strong I was, and I want to go back on the ice. And then I hurt another knee with the ACL, and then all those injuries will start coming one after another, and it takes a lot of mental recovery. And I think it was just getting to the point where it was really become stressful, like doing that over and over, and in waiting time, and before you start working out again, before you go back on the ice again, and it was really killing me. But that's the only thing that I hope that if I take everything back, I hope just I had no any of those injuries, and I'll probably play more games, and they probably be more I still probably could have played by now if not those knee surgeries.
All right, last thing for you, at least for me, but you played on so many great international teams for Russia and international tournaments too. Like you said, you won a gold medal. Like, who's the best Russian that you ever played with? I don't like to ask who's the best Russian of all time because I know
we might not know who he is.
No, some people don't like. But who's the best Russian you were ever on the ice with that you ever watched play that just blew you away there, Alex?
Well, I mean, I always, as a young kid, I always loved that line, Larionov, Makarov, and Krutov. I never had a chance to play with any of those guys. Maybe with Larionov and Salt Lake City Olympics. But it would have been nice to play, Makarov and Krutov.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys. Those are like, been really. I took a lot from their games in the beginning of my young career. I used to use their moves, the way they skate, the way they do things. I don't know. I mean, late in my career, when I played with Datsuk, it was a lot of fun to play with him. Play with Kovalchuk in the Olympic. I mean, at the national team, it was a lot of fun. I mean, there were a lot of young potential start coming in that it was fun to play with.
What do you think of our guy Tarasenko here in St. Louis?
Tarasenko, I mean, I love that guy. I noticed him right away from, remember sitting at, we were somewhere on the road with the team, and they had that World Junior Championship, and they were playing the final game against Canada when I think they were came back from 5-2 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the first time I noticed him, and I really like his skill. I like the way he skates, the way he sees the ice. I mean, he's got a lot of potential. He probably going to need maybe one more guy with a similar skill as him. I mean, they're gonna put on the show.
You know who your biggest fan is, by the way? You know it's David Perron, right? And he's always
God,
talked about you. Had the white skates, and but he told me last night or maybe 2 days ago, whatever, that you took him and his family out to dinner after one of your charity deals up there in Montreal. Do you remember getting together with him? And has he ever told you how much he idolizes your game?
Well, I've heard it many times. I mean, I've seen he uses the same stick, same blade, but right-handed. Same skates. Even had a knob, the rubber knob that I was using instead of the tape. So everything, and he was even almost skating like me, and I heard many times. I invite him to my golf charity. Many times, and went for dinner with him. He's great guy. I mean, we had a lot of talks about different things, and I told him, I said, anytime you need help with anything and decisions, about the game, if you're not sure about something or you're willing to learn something, don't hesitate, give me a call.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
We love the white skates, man. And listen, we appreciate you coming on. You had a great career. I'm always just love watching you play. Just amazed at how skilled you were, man. And listen, you're the first Russian to ever be drafted in the first round. One of the first, the first Russian to ever win the Stanley Cup along with your two teammates. But you're not the first Russian to come on the Cam and Strick podcast.
No, we love
just
you.
so you know that. Okay,
we love you. We love the motherland,
and we want more Russians. We love Russian hockey.
Yeah, man, we love it. Interesting stories, man.
Yeah, so
appreciate it.
Enjoy your bike ride, man, and all the best to you.
60 miles, Covey. 60 miles, not 30. You got to do 60 tonight, baby.
And we're coming to China. We want to go on the yacht with your owner. Tell him.
No, we don't. Thanks, Kobe. We'll see you, big boy.
You want to go on the yacht, but not in China.
No. We'll
meet you in the south of France.
Let's go to Caribbean.
We'll meet you in the south of France. We won't meet you in China.
Good.
We'll meet you there.
See you, big boy. Thanks a lot.
Good.
All right,
on, big boy.
All right, guys. Anytime.
All right,
okay, bye.
That was Alexei Kovalev. You ever heard of him, Cam?
Yeah, I have. I played against him.
Did you play against him?
Yes, I did, dude.
Were you ever on the ice with him?
Yes, unfortunately.
Were you ever did anybody ever blow your mind where you were just like, God damn, that guy is so damn good?
Just like the guy that said that he has the maybe equal to how sick their hands are together, I would be Datsuk. Anytime we played Detroit all the time, and sometimes I'd be stuck out there against Datsuk and Zetterberg, and they're like, all right, that's a stop and start shift for fucking a minute and a half, and I won't play for the rest of the period.
Datsuk.
Thanks, Andy Murray.
Best player in the league
for a while there.
During his prime, man. He really was.
No, he was.
I know people thought Crosby, Ovechkin, whoever. It was Datsuk, man.
Datsuk
I remember asking a bunch of players.
And he was winning, too.
They all said Datsuk.
He was winning, too. Even from the beginning, like the later years there, or the early years of Datsuk, like he was still contributing in those games and stuff like that. Then he started taking over. Then he penalty killed. He did this. Best defensive player. It's like you'd have the puck and you'd skip the ice. Like, oh, cool. I'm going to dump the puck in. Like, good, Cam. Dump the puck in. Maybe get forecheck. No, you're not. Because Datsuk's coming behind you. He's going to lift your stick up. He's going to turn on a dime. Now there's a 2-on-1 the other way because how fast his transition was. Yeah. Kind of the opposite of what you do in my case.
By the way, I was looking at your numbers. In St. Louis one year, I think you had 190 penalty minutes.
Yeah.
And no goals.
Is that bad?
I mean, 0 goals.
I was distracted, okay? I was playing in my hometown. People were bugging me for tickets, okay?
But when you take your afternoon nap and you drive down to the rink,
I hated those afternoon naps.
in your Corvette, your Hoosier-ass Corvette.
Hoosier-ass Corvette. No, it's actually pretty cool. It was an 08. It was sick. I look like Batmobile. And I'd put on, and then people would call me. I'd do interviews on the way down, like, blah!
Okay.
Oh, my God. Just ridiculous.
Were you
Loved
thinking,
it.
man, I got to score tonight. I got to score.
Kind of, yeah, a couple times.
Or did you not think about scoring?
No. Dude, I had a lot. Dude, people would bug the shit out of me for not scoring, man.
0 goals and 190 penalty minutes.
I don't care what you did. You have the best fight in the world.
Would you have taken 2 goals for 95 penalty minutes?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Goals, honestly, people bugged everywhere I went. I remember people like, oh, when are you going to get that first one? I don't know. I remember that. Big time. Oh, yeah. I don't care how you still could go out there and crush guys and have fun and put a show on. Your jersey comes off, flexing the. When are you going to score the first one? When are you going to say no? So,
when are you going to crash the goalie?
It happened in Jersey my last year when I got like 3 in a week. That was the I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Thanks for bringing that up. Anything else you want to talk about that's negative?
Anything stand out from Kobe?
We love the Russians, man. They're all cool. They all have a unique story. Like just say like they're actually some parents sacrificed for them. The other parents they didn't. Like it's just like it's so all over the place and very interesting always. And
I really like Russian hockey.
I do too, man. It's unbelievable.
My son, my little guy, all he wanted was a red helmet when we go skate, and he just turned 4. And he wanted a red helmet, and so when Tarasenko's wife saw the helmet, she said, he looks like he on Russian national team.
Yeah, Soviet,
and I
baby.
was like, oh,
yeah, dominating.
This is what we're after.
Having a puck the whole
this
time.
is what we're after.
Yeah, man. I love it.
Make the Russian national team.
I'm curious, dude. It's just very interesting how they grew up and how the system was over there. We know the system over here. I lived through it. I get it. I get it. I get the Canadian system. I get the American system. You do too as coaching. Like,
what do you think the biggest difference is?
The culture, just the way like the upbringing of like parents not having decisive, like it's.
I love when I ask you these questions, by the way, because it really forces you to think, and this is when you give good answers.
Oh, I'm just like, well, you fucked me up on the answer. Now I have no rhythm anymore.
Go ahead.
No, it's just like all the parents. I seem like they grew up the same. Where here you could have a kid that grew up real wealthy, and then another kid over here, and then another kid maybe in the middle, and then another kid.
Did you find most of your teammates grew up wealthy?
Yeah, kind of
in hockey.
I think it's half and half. Fucking A. I think half and half. And I was on the, of course, the other half.
Probably more than half.
I think that was half and half. Half
of
were
the
well
league grew
off.
up
Listen
poor?
to me. No. In my AAA days, I look at some of the big boys. Their mom and dad made good money. They made good money. 100% they did. But yet my dad was the one that took all the kids on his dime that didn't make good money, but we stuffed them in my van because they wanted to be in my van going all the way up 12 hours in Michigan. And then, like, you know,
and he'd buy them lunch and everything?
Oh, fuck yeah. Yes. Yes, and my
mom
would
be
like,
what
the fuck are you doing? My dad's like, just trust me, it's going to work out. Just trust me. Why are you leaving every day, Dennis?
You know what's funny?
Every weekend.
I talked to Jeff Brown about that, too.
Fuck.
I said, when Logan got drafted. I know, but I said, when Logan got drafted in the first round, did you say to your wife, see, it was all worth it?
Yeah, but
he said I did. I know. I'm not talking about the economics of it.
Yeah, well, I am.
And I'm not talking about the advantage.
I'm talking about the economics of
these
it.
kids who grew up with NHL dads, the advantage they have. I mean, holy shit.
Fucking
it's not even close.
Or not even that. How about you even know some? Like, I look at my parents, and I'm like, they didn't know anyone in the system. Nobody.
Who got you into hockey?
Holy started it.
Holy.
Yeah. Just watching them.
You mean the Blues from watching on TV?
To watch the Blues,
yeah.
yes. What do you? Yes,
Okay.
the Blues got me into it. My dad took me to a game.
Did you score goals as a kid?
Oh, it dominated, Andy. Are
Did
you
you?
fucking stupid ass question? Why do you ask stupid ass questions? I was unbelievable as a kid, but then I started really
leading scorer on the team.
Yeah, I did 50 goals
because
a year.
even the St. Louis Sting, when you played your little,
you know
your
the
junior,
guys have fucking
you were
said
young
this.
though,
The
right?
guys have
You
said
were
this in front of
young.
you. You're asking stupid questions right now. The guys have said this in front of you a million times. You know, in AAA, I dominated in all aspects.
But you got kicked out of the game like 5 minutes.
That is very true. And I quit for a little bit too, man.
You know,
And that's why I started hanging out
I
with
was
the
a goal
dipshits.
scorer too, by the way. Just
Andy,
so you know. Just so you know. All right,
I
this
pump
was
your tires up enough.
Okay,
You
this
don't need
is-
to pump your own tires up with your hockey.
all right. Cam and Strick podcast always brought to you by CarShield, carshield.com, and of course Bellman.com and Cope24.com. Got a nice email this morning from Renee.
Oh, girl, what is up?
Love
God,
you.
she works her ass off.
Love you, Renee.
Yeah, we love you to death. Thank you very much for everything you do. You do great work, and we love that you're on board with us on the Cam and Strick podcast.
Yes, carshield.com, 800-857-2481, and get yourself a new car over with our boy Dan Bellman, Bellman.com, BEHLMANN.com.
Normal brand
Come
opened
get some clothes
up.
at the Normal brand.
They got some good stuff going on. I'm going to have to, I know Andy's probably going to snag about 15, 16 shirts when he
Probably
walks out
so.
of here. They got cameras, by the way. No,
they don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care.
They love it. They want people coming in here, so come on in. Normal brand, good stuff coming up, especially summer stuff. Too.
Yeah, we thank Pete and everybody for letting us do
Yeah.
it here once again. All right, this has been the Cam and Strick podcast. Follow us on all our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and looking forward to chatting again very, very soon. Hope you enjoyed Alexei Kovalev on the Cam and Strick podcast.